Hi guys, how are you all? Let us discuss the literary elements present in the poem Wind, which is originally written by Subramanya Bharati, a Tamil writer, and which is translated by A.K. Ramanujan. Wind comes softly. Don't break the shutters of the window. Don't scatter the papers. Don't throw down the books on the shelf. There, look, what have you done? What have you done? You threw them all down. You tore the pages of the books. You brought rain again. You're very clever at poking fun at weaklings. Frail, crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. He won't do what you tell him. So come, let's build strong homes. Let's join the doors firmly. Practice to form the body, make the heart steadfast. Do this, and the wind will be friends with us. The wind blows out weak fires. He makes strong fires roar and flourish. His friendship is good. We praise them every day. Wind comes softly. Light-hearted, quite an emotional, quite an inspirational poem. Okay, as you see, as I read the poem, there is no rhyming word. Softly, window, papers, shelf, down. No rhyming word is there. So, what about the rhyme scheme? How will we calculate rhyme scheme here? As there is no rhyming word, so there is no rhyme scheme as such. It is a free verse. This poem is called a free verse, means without any rhyming word. Okay? As you can see that there is no rhyming word, softly, window, papers, shelf, down, no rhyming word is there. So it is called free verse. So this device is called free verse. Okay? Come to next device, anaphora. You can see that the line number 2, line number 3, line 4, these three lines started with don't, the word don't. Now this device and the 6, 7, 8 started with the word you. So this device, what is it called? Yes, it is called anaphora. When a word is repeated at the start of 2 or more consecutive lines, this device is called anaphora. Okay? Now is it clear to you? Okay. Now come to next, personification. Now you see in the whole poem, the poet has considered wind as a human being. The poet has considered wind as a human being. So it is personification. Very well. Wind has been personified when the poet says you are. He is referring the wind as you. That means he is treating wind as a person. Now coming to next, crumbling, repetition. Coming to the next device, that is crumbling. Crumbling means broken into pieces. Crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling wood, crumbling body, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts means broken, shattered, fragmented. This word crumbling is repeated time and again in the same line and in the next line. So when a word is repeated so many times to lay emphasis, to give depth to the poem, then it is repetition. That means the poet wants to say that the wind crushes everything that is weak. That is why he repeats the word crumbling. Okay? Coming to next. Let us see next device, and that is alliteration. Now, what is alliteration? Alliteration is so common, you must be knowing it. Repetition of the sound in close connection. Here, the sound w. Wind winnows, wind winnows, wind winnows. He won't do what? W. So this sound is repeated, hence it is alliteration. It is clear to you? Now one more I would like to make you understand, that is symbolism. As in the previous poem that you read, which was the previous poem that you read? Yes, The Road Not Taken. Similarly, wind is also symbolism. Symbolism means that thing refers to some other thing. Wind is a symbol. Symbol to challenges of life. Challenges of life. He's using wind as symbol for adversities in our life. Okay? That's all. All these devices we have discussed. If anything else is there, if any query is there, contact me personally. Okay?